Howdy, and welcome back to the channel. You got Digital Asset Hutch here, bringing you all the know about crypto in the US economy space. And as you can see from today's title, we are going a little off the beaten path that you would usually see around this channel. And we're going to talk about Cardano. And the reason why I wanted to go ahead and talk about Cardano this week is because they are releasing a over-collateralized stable coin, and it is set to be announced today or tomorrow, but I thought what a perfect day to bring a new alt to the channel with this going on. So what is Cardano exactly? It is a proof of stake blockchain that got released in 2017, and most recently one of the biggest updates with it in September of 2021 was the Alonzo hard fork, which brought smart contracts to the blockchain. And if you aren't familiar with what smart contracts are, they're essentially a way that you can build now dApps on the blockchain, making it easier. And Cardano has been kind of pegged as an Ethereum competitor. It's also been kind of labeled as a ghost chain with how long it's taken to get smart contracts and how long it's taken to get this upgrade officially launched on the platform. But that's just kind of the way Cardano is meant to be. Cardano isn't there to be first to market like Ethereum was. They're more methodical. They want to make sure everything is accurate. You won't ever really see Cardano have a pause in the system, as some of the competitors like Solana might have had. So this is kind of the difference that there is between Ethereum and Cardano, is that they're more slow approaching to that finish line, while Ethereum was first to market. They are having a lot of these forks to have changes on their ecosystem, which is nothing wrong with that, but I just kind of want to highlight that for you. Now, why also am I talking about it and comparing it to Ethereum? Because Cardano has just now hit the same amount of wallets Ethereum had back in 2017, roughly 5 to 6 years ago. And I want to highlight that now Ethereum has 220 million active wallets, and Cardano got to the 3.9 million mark without those dApps being able to build on it, without the smart contracts having a factor. So it is important to know that there is still time, and just with this most recent pump that we've seen since the start of the year, Cardano has grown around 50,000 wallets, and on top of that, increasing its market cap. Nice, you could say $4.5 billion, and that could be with the hint of that stable coin Djed that we were talking about. And it is important to note that there is a lot of skepticalism in the space with this stable coin, because as you can guys remember, in the bear market with Terra Luna, Terra USD fell 99% and depegged. So I can see why people would be scared with this new announcement, but they are saying that there is 400% of the values to collateralize this essential coin, so it never depegs. Now we'll see if that stays true over time, but that is what they are saying it is from the get-go. So I guess we can trust their word for right now, but like I said, always take it with a grain of salt and do your own research. And as you can see here, that it is already going to get incorporated into 40 Cardano dApps, and it is important to note that this will make it easier for it to be used in everyday transacting, so it can bring on real world businesses and merchants. It doesn't have to be solely with Cardano, like buying things with Cardano or maybe another coin. And this also kind of segues into my next point of just the pure, I guess we'll call it exponential growth. So I'm going to give you guys another resource to bookmark here after this little Reddit post I show you, and this is Cardano's ecosystem 2 to 3 years ago. As you can see, it was in May 12th of 2021, so actually we'll give it about a year and 2 2/3, maybe 3/4. And we won't talk about this one. This one's no longer there. And I'm sure maybe one or two others have kind of disappeared as time has gone on. But just notice, how many do you see? You see 9 NFT platforms. You see 2 lending, 2 stable platforms. And if you go to today's, which you can find on cardanocube.io, I really suggest you guys save this. There is so much growth. The NFT has its own tabs. Just in its alone, you have 30 different marketplaces for the NFT platforms. My favorably, jpeg.store, to play on joke with how NFTs are just JPEGs. I think it's hilarious. On top of that, look at these NFT games. Now going back to here, Graph, this just you don't even have games on here. Now we're providing gaming, we're providing so many different things, 3D art. Another we have 10 lending platforms now. We have 24 stablecoin or payment. So I just thought I would highlight this website out for y'all because it is important to kind of just keep track of the growth and if it is still growing or if it's a dead ecosystem. You see things moving, like how Solana is moving all of their things to Cardano and Ethereum. So these are all things to pay attention to. Now let's go ahead and go to the graph real quick because there is some stuff to highlight. As you see here, Cardano is bumping its head on that 200-day moving average. So we most likely will see a retracement there. Now let's go ahead and pull up that VPVR and let's bring it back to an appropriate point, which will be roughly around this fall off to draw it back into range, just so we can see where that VR says all that volume is. So you can have some targets to keep in mind. So I believe that will be around 268. Perfect. Yeah, it goes a little up, but it's fine. So as you can see here, we are still at the lower end of that range. And typically, you either get magnetized to the top so you can fall up or down the hill. And as you can see right now, we did fall down that hill. So as you see with the trend since the start of the year, we are trying to work our way back to that level, but we are getting rejected off. And we are in a nice little channel right now that is not by any means going to continue. This growth is, I would say, insane. It's not going to stay in this channel by long, but this is that consistent channel that we are seeing right now. So we might see it to break down just to retest this 50-day moving average, because typically you will either see it consolidate and that moving average come up, or you'll see it break down to retest it to confirm bullish and then to the moon. Not really, but just for the saying. So I wanted to highlight this for you. That is just kind of the over looming TA for it. I can go a little in depth on TA if y'all would like in future videos, but we will keep that its own segment, not when we're kind of overviewing stuff. But if you did learn something today about Cardano, or it is some coin that you might be adding to your portfolio, go ahead and drop a like below and subscribe. We will be covering Cardano frequently on this channel because it is one of my top 3 holdings. So I hope y'all enjoyed and stay safe out there. Bye bye.